Welcome, 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 Mosaic Souls. Welcome back to Divine Earth School. Hello, 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 Mosaic Souls. Hey, Mosaic Souls, feel free to let me know if you're live in the chat as I move some things around. I'm super excited to talk about today's topic. Let's see. Extract all. Trying to make sure I get my slides in place this time. Last time I had a little issue. I was like, not gonna be happening again this time. Let me see. So, let me just do some. If you're joining me live, feel free to say hi in the chat. Directory. Let's see. Downloads. This. Okay. Okay, so what I want to do is cool. And then is this. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Make sure that I'm streaming live and you can hear me. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So let's get started with today's chat. So today we're going to be talking about how to embody your divine power. And I really wanted to tap into this because I feel excited about this next phase. We're in the new month of June. For me, the month of June, energy-wise, is joyful June. So that's the energy that I'm going to be moving forward with this month. And I invite you to also contemplate yourself, how you can move into more joy and more ease and more abundance into your own life, and more specifically, more joy. How can you bring more joy into your life? A lot of times we're always focused on the abundance or focused on trying to lose the weight or trying to get the person and all this stuff. But I really want to invite you to focus in on how you can allow more joy into your life. And really, truly, when by the end of today's Soul Nugget Sunday, you're going to really start to have a better understanding and hopefully some tools at your disposal to help you move into more freedom internally and allow yourself to really just shine and follow your heart and allow your innate joy that's actually innate within you to really shine forth. So let's talk about, let's move into, how do you embody your divinity? And if you know me, if you're new to this channel, welcome to Divine Earth School. This is a place where we come to embody, embrace, and explore our divinity. And let's tap into this. When I talk about divinity, I really want this to be just very effortless and an easy way for you to understand who and what you truly are. Let me make sure I'm not echoing. Hold on. Okay. So, as you know me, I love to talk about the definition of things. Ooh, okay, this is all mixed up here. Let me fix this here. Let me see. Why is this doing that? So why are you starting on that page? 1, 2. I don't know why this is all mixed up like that. Okay, I don't know what kind of slideshow this is. We need to stop this. And why would it not be? Who knows? I have no clue why it's not showing up in order in which it should be showing. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Welcome. Feel free to say hi in the chat if you're joining me live. So let's dive into what is your divinity. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out why my slides are acting like a hot freaking mess. But let me know if you can hear me in the chat, because last time my audio was like super not working in the order in which it was like this massive delay. And I want to make sure that that is not happening this time around. So if you're joining me live, feel free to say hi in the chat. Okay, so let's dive into this divinity piece, right? What is your divinity? I always like to start out with welcome. Okay, glad. Okay, hello, welcome back. So glad to see you, Lisa. Feel free to let me know your name if that's your name in the chat. But yes, what is your divinity? Let's dive into the basics. You know me, I always like to give a base of what we're all talking about so we're all on the same page. So what is your divinity? And the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of times we are focused on our problems or trying to get rid of the problems, and we're focused on outward movement or shifting things outwardly. And one of the things that I'm here to help you recognize is that you're a divine infinite being, right? So when I talk about your divinity or divine earth school, the fact that you are a divine being, for some of us, we're primordial beings and we're all fractals of source, right? Understanding this is true foundation to everything that the rest of your life will sort of manifest as, right? Welcome, Miss Monique. Welcome. So understanding this allows you to really move into the direction of creating like heaven on earth, your version of heaven on earth, right? So understanding who you truly are is that you're a source made manifest in human form. I really want you to think about this. We'll dive more deeply into this, but I really want to invite you to really think, and I'll answer questions at the end. But I just really want to dive into this content, and then we can tap into some questions and stuff towards the end. But your true identity, right? You are source made manifest in human form, right? You, the source of your true power. When you really start to embody and embrace your divinity, you'll understand that this is the source of your true power. A lot of us are sourcing our sense of self-worth and how much money we have in the bank, whether or not our partner is in love with us or not, whether or not, we get that raise, whether or not we have a good relationship with our kids, whether or not we look good in a two-piece bathing suit, right? Like we're sourcing our sense of self-worth. We're sourcing our sense of security, our sense of well-being and outward things. And when you source your sense of self-worth, when you source your sense of well-being, and if I remember, I'll link a video below where I talk about, how to source your sense of self-worth from your true self on a deeper level. But when you start sourcing your sense of self-worth from your true identity, the fact that you are more than just a human being, then it becomes the foundation of your life force energy, right? All that you truly are manifesting, right? And it becomes the source of your joy and the source of your peace and love and abundance and well-being. And when you really start to grok this, you guys, when you really start to get this on a true deep level, you start to recognize that nothing can really hinder you or allow you or disturb your peace, because you're moving from a place of power. You're moving from a place of infinite well-being. And you know that no matter what comes your way, you are resilient. You have the source tools within you to move into your preferred reality. And you no longer have to live from a place of lack, scarcity, fear that something will go wrong. And even if something does, quote unquote, go wrong, you know that nothing can really disturb the truth of who you are, which is the fact that you're a divine being, right? So moving into this knowing that you are a true divine infinite being is really the reason why and the foundation of what I really wanted to tap into. So let's move into this next piece, which is what are the keys to freedom, right? So knowledge and embodiment of the self allows you to break free from fear-based living, right? It helps you to move into your preferred states of being more effortlessly. And when I talk about preferred states of being, what I'm talking about is moving from a place of joy, moving from a place of peace. A lot of times we're doing all these external things because we want to feel peace, we want to feel whole. But what if you can feel whole right now? Because you are already whole, right? That's the true understanding that you start to grok and understand, that moving from your divinity, moving from the embodiment of who you truly are, allows you to move into those states of being. And all the other stuff that comes with life, right, is just sort of the added cake on top, right? The added icing on the cake, right? Also moving into your divinity moves you into the freedom paradigm, which I'm going to share with you a little bit more towards the end. But it moves you into this state of freedom, right? Internal freedom from external stuff, right? So being that we live on this earth, we knew that we came here for a plethora of different journeys, a plethora of different experiences, and a plethora of different challenging life experiences. But we didn't come to really suffer and slave away for majority of our lives. We didn't come to get stuck and trapped in this rat race for the rest of our lives. We came to really manifest our heart's desire without attachment, but from a place of power, from a place of strong inner knowing of who and what we truly are. So when you know that you are a divine being, that you are an infinite being, that you are source made manifest in human form, right? A fractal of source, whatever you want to say, God in human form, whatever term resonates for you, right? You start to recognize that that is the source of your true power, not how much money you got in the bank, right? Not whether or not, your blood pressure is 120/80, or, whether or not the doctor told you, you got X, Y, and X disease. You don't source your sense of power and well-being outside of you. You see what I'm saying? You're no longer sourcing your sense of self-worth, your sense of well-being, your sense of wholeness from things outside of you, right? And when you really start to grok this, you guys, you move from a place of power. No longer are you seeking things outside of you to tell you that you're already divine. No longer are you seeking things outside of you to tell you that you're whole, right? And I might let my divine team talk on this one, but we'll see. Let's move into the next piece, right? So the key misperceptions that a lot of times allows us to forget that we're powerful beyond measure is the fact that we move from this place of fear and we don't allow ease and well-being and abundance to be our natural state of being, is that a lot of times we're moving from a state of consciousness of victimhood. And a lot of times we don't know that we're doing this, right? It's not that you're walking around saying, I'm a victim. But let me tell you how victimhood shows up, right? Shows up as I'm a product of my past, or I'm a product of my trauma, right? So when you think that, when you're fighting for your limitation, when the mind, right? And one of the things I want to start to invite you to start doing is when your mind goes into fighting for your limitation, but this has been going on for 10 years. I never ever meet the right person, or, I've been struggling with my weight for over 20 years, Rachel. What you got to say? When your mind starts playing these little tricks, or maybe your body moves into a state of contraction or fear or whatever, when the body and the mind, because remember, as a divine being, your body and your mind are your tool set, right? You're here on this playground called Earth, this Earth school, right? This divine Earth school, to learn your lessons and to master yourself. But your body and your mind are your tool sets. That means that you are not just your body and your mind. And I'm not saying to negate your body. I'll talk about this more in more depth a little bit later. But not to negate your body, but to recognize that you are the master of your universe. So what that means is that you're no longer moving from a state of victimhood. Another way that victimhood shows up is not only fighting for your limitations, right? But a lot of times victimhood shows up from a state of when you keep telling yourself the same story over and over and over, right? When you're attached to things outside of yourself, or when you're attached to stories or things, the way that things have been, right? And it's the same kind of play on, fighting for your limitation. But a lot of times it'll be like a story that you're telling yourself a lot of times over and over and over. And it's be careful. Be impeccable with your words, as my mom used to always say. Be impeccable with your words, because what you say, what you think, what you feel on a day-to-day basis is your tool set as a divine infinite being to create your reality, right? But a lot of times we're not aware of that. We're not aware of our minds. We're usually caught up in putting our focus in outward things, and that's the power of social media and the internet to really grab your attention. Really, attention is the currency right now. So these corporations and massive media channels and stuff like that, and these scientific psychological scientists who are working to grab your attention, know that attention is the highest form of currency. If they can grab your attention, then they can use that attention and use it to manipulate you in whatever form they want to manipulate you in, right? And they can program your subconscious with all sorts of subliminal messages, and you're at effect and you become a victim because you're no longer operating in your divinity, right? So you start becoming a victim of your environment, but you are not a victim. You are a divine infinite being. You are a victor. You are a creator, right? So a key misperception a lot of us have is that we're a victim, and I'm a product of my past, or I'm a product of my trauma. And because I'm a product of my trauma, these are my problems, right? And that's the next misperception, is that you are at effect to problems, and we forget the law of polarity, which is another way of saying this is that inherent within each and every problem is the solution, right? But if you think that you're just a product of your past, you're a product of your trauma, then you hold on to that identity for dear life. You forget that you are a divine infinite being, right? Having this human experience. You forget that you're a source made manifest in human form, and you move into just your little human you. And you say, my problems this is what's going on. And you're fighting for your limitation, and you forget that within inherent in every single problem and every single setback or situation or challenge is already the solution, right? And that's enacting divine law. But because we don't know, a lot of times most of us are not doing the spiritual work. We're not educating ourselves. We're not, doing the things that we need to do to tap into our divinity. We're giving our attention to outward things that do not support our true selves, support our inner knowing of who we truly are. Most of us are getting up, we go, and we don't have any spiritual practices in place to remind us of our true selves. And so if you wake up from the time, let's say you're 18 until adulthood, and you are not having these sort of practices in place, right? Or even just, it doesn't have to be extensive, right? Like, I'm the queen of simplicity, right? For me, just going out in nature every day is my spiritual practice. But doing those things that allow you to remember who you truly are and letting that be your spiritual practice allows you to move more from a place of power, right? And so this also means that another thing that I wanted to talk about is a key misperception is embracing the unknown means that you're going to be in financial, physical, or relational ruin, right? So a lot of us are very, how do I want to say this? A lot of us are very attached to what we think we know, right? We have a lot of misperceptions around, life in the way that it shows up. And we have a lot of hardcore beliefs or attachments to knowing something. We think that if we know something, that knowledge and clarity equals safety, right? And this shows up in a myriad of different ways in our lives, from the programming that we get from childhood. You go to college, you get a job, and then you're going to be secure for the rest of your life, right? But we've seen just within the past 5 years, right, that having a known or a solid thing doesn't mean anything. And so what this is telling me, right, what this is informing me in is knowing that when you source your sense of self-worth, when you source your inner being, your sense of safety, your sense of freedom, your sense of love, joy, and well-being to outside sources, things that you can see, right? Things that you can see, taste, touch, or feel, that means that you're going to be safe, but that doesn't mean anything. The true question here, right, is can you find your safety, your sense of self-worth, your sense of well-being in your divine mind, in your divine power, in your soul, in your true self? Because when you can start to source your sense of your sense of self-worth, your sense of power from your inner being, then it doesn't matter what comes up in your life, right? You know that as a divine infinite being that you're going to transcend it. That is literally life on planet Earth, right? Law of polarity, law of gender, like we have so many laws where we are having these mutable things where you have the yin and the yang, right? We have these opposites going, and part of that is change, constant change. Being on this planet means that, after being on this planet for 30 something years right now, right? I've noticed that life is like this. It's always a roller coaster, no matter how high you get. Whether you get to millionaire status or whether you get to the peak form of health, right? There's always another bump and it's always another challenge. But that doesn't mean that you've done something wrong. That's just the game on planet Earth, right? That's just like life on divine Earth school, right? That's the life on this Earth school. You're here to master challenges, right? You came here to master and to live out your true purpose and to be the divine embodiment of who you truly are in every facet and phase of your life. How do you do that? You step out of victimhood, right? You step out of believing that you are just a victim and that your problems are the source of who you truly are. That you move past this idea that your trauma is your identity. You are not your trauma, right? You are not your past. You are not a product of your environment. You only become a product of your environment. You only become a product of your trauma when you embrace that as your new identity, right? Rachel, I've been through this. Trust me, I've been through a lot myself. I've been through this. This is who I am. This is what's been going on, right? When you can reiterate the problem over and over and over, and you find that your problem has become your identity. Many of us are so attached to our problems, to our situations, that we're not willing to let go of them so that we can move into our divine true selves, right? And so that's the key about, this is the key misperception. Can you start to source and find your safety in your true self, in your divine mind, in your power, right? So let's talk about key perspectives in shifting, right? And moving into your embodied true self, right? If you're joining live, feel free to say hi in the chat. But let's talk about these key perspectives, right? So who are you, right? And this is the key foundational principle of everything else that we're going to talk about. The fact is, you are divine. I always say it on this channel. You are divine. You are a divine being, and you are a soul having this human experience, right? You are a fractal of source, right? An infinite being, source made manifest in human form, God made manifest in human form, gods, goddesses, in these little human bodies, right? Playing out this game called life on planet Earth. Your soul knew that you were going to come here and do some things. And your soul also knew that some of this shit was going to be fucking hard. Let's be real. It was going to be hard. It was going to be challenging, but it doesn't have to be hard if you wake up to who you truly are and you use the power of your focus, which is another thing that we're going to tackle. But let's talk about how do we move into recognizing our divinity and start living our divinity. And there's two pathways, right? That is very prominent in our society. A lot of times, especially in the spiritual world, One of the pathways is to renounce or bypass your humanity to focus on your divinity. And a lot of times this looks like, ignore, you are not your human self. You're not yourself. Ignore the body, ignore the mind, ignore your desires. It's sort of this renunciation of your humanity so that you can open up into your divinity. And there's nothing wrong with that pathway. It works for a lot of people. So if that pathway resonates for you, go for it, right? And that's why I always say flow with what feels good and let go of what doesn't. Because whatever flows, what feels good is the path that your soul is taking you on. So renouncing your humanity to some degree, right? Not necessarily saying, oh, I'm not human anymore. But in the sense that you're like, I'm more than just human. And it can kind of be this sort of negation, right? Where it's sort of an exclusion movement. You're excluding your humanity so that you can begin to tap into your divinity. Another pathway, which is more so what I resonate with, which is embracing your humanity as a part of your divinity, right? So is when I'll move into some experiential exercises in a moment, but like just if you can test with me in this moment, right? If you can just breathe with me, everyone take a deep breath, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And one more, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And the reason why I like this second pathway more is because you're utilizing the tool of your human body to access your divinity, to tap into your divinity at a deeper way, right? But when you are renouncing your humanity, you can kind of get caught up into this sort of self-loathing thing that happens a lot of times on that path, which is why I don't really resonate with the first path. But whatever path resonates, flow with what feels good and let go of what doesn't. The ultimate intention here is to embrace your true identity, which I nailed in at the beginning of this live, right? So your divinity has all the answers you need and desire. Your soul is an infinite, wise, intelligent being that has a vantage point, right, of everything that you desire and need, right? But your human mind only is this one little speck. Like if you can think of your human mind as literally like the ball point on this pen, right? Your human mind is the ball point on this pen. Your soul, the divine infinite fractal source that you truly are, is literally like the planet, right? Mind versus the planet, right? Imagine how much knowledge and wisdom lies in infinite source around you. Now, am I saying to negate your intellect? Am I saying not to use your logical mind? I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that when you start sourcing your sense of self-worth in the infinite being that you truly are, beyond just your human mind, beyond just your human thoughts and emotions, right? Ballpoint pen, the tip of the pen, you start moving into a powerful place, and you start sourcing not only your sense of self-worth and safety, but your desires and the manifestation of those desires to be made manifest in human form in your experience from this inner knowing, and you're no longer attached, right? So let's move into the other key perspective, right? Peace, love, joy are all actually your natural states of being, right? And most of us would probably like, no, it ain't. I'm a very disturbed person. I can't remember the last time I felt peace. I can't remember the last time I actually genuinely felt joy. And a lot of times this happens because our programming on this planet has taught you otherwise. It has taught you that you are not enough. It has taught you that you are all alone. It has taught you that there's not enough to go around. We live in a scarcity mentality. It has taught you that you have to work hard, you have to hustle, and that you have to go after what you want, and you have to step on others to get there, right? It has taught you that your well-being is dependent on a healthcare system or outward circumstances, right? It has taught you that your place of power is sourced from outward things, right? Not that your place of power is from held within. And when this is your programming, of course you don't experience peace, love, and joy. Of course your sense of well-being feels like it's not even online, right? It's not even here or able to access it, right? So let's talk about another key perspective is the power of focus, right? Which I really wanted to talk about. When you recognize that your power lies in not only your true identity and utilizing your body and your mind as the tools that they are, right, to create the life that you want in this planet, right, on this planet, you recognize that when you use the power of focusing your attention, which I talked about before, on the things that actually matter, the things that actually move the needle in your life, right? I bet most of you here can recall a time where you just let go and let God, as they said, if you surrendered to life and you allowed your higher mind, your higher self to guide your path, and life just felt easy and things just fell into place. I know everyone has at least one life event where they can recall that. Now, what if that was actually your day-to-day life experience, right? And the power of focus helps that you to be in this way. You're no longer focusing on what, the news and the media is telling you to focus on. You're no longer focused on what your family and societal upbringing is telling you to focus on. You're no longer focusing in on, the problem and focusing so much on the problem that you can't even make room to daydream or to vibrationally feel what the solution would feel like, right? And when you start focusing and using the power of your focus to focus in on the things that you want, because whatever you focus on expands, right? We all know this, right? What you focus on expands. It's the power of your attention, right? And like I said, attention is the highest currency right now. When you use that power to actually focus in on what it is you want to manifest, on the life that you want to manifest, on the energy that you want to embody, on the truth of who you truly are, because really when you know who you truly are, the rest of that stuff just really comes, right? And so knowing and utilizing the power of your attention is really the key power in helping you to move into your divine power. Your mind and your ability to focus in your attention, focus in your emotions, focus in your body. And, if you have to treat your body like a puppy, because a lot of us, when you're first embarking on a spiritual journey, sometimes you have to activate that. Okay, look, body, we're going to sit here for the next 15 minutes and I'm not getting up until I feel peaceful, until I feel, a sense of relief, right? Sometimes you have to treat yourself like a little puppy, like you're training a dog, at first, because the body and the mind is on this loop of, creating more of what you don't want. And so sometimes you got to take back the rein and be like, no, you're going to sit here. You're going to do what I need you to do. And I'm not getting up until you focus in on what I want to create, right? Until I can feel my entire body feel being marinated in joy, love, peace, and well-being, until I can feel the power of the infinite being that I truly am, right? Until I can feel the joy that I truly am, until I can feel the goddess that I truly am, the God that I truly am, until I can feel the well-being if you're suffering from a physical ailment, until I can feel that, I'm not getting up from this chair, right? We have to become so, not dogmatic, but like unwavering in our faith, to the faith in our higher selves, faith in the power that lies within us, that we do what is necessary to we move into the vibrational frequency of what we desire. But if you go around focusing all your attention on all the things you don't want, your energy is always all over the place. There's no way that you can be a vibrational match to what you desire, right? There's no way that you can be a vibrational match to peace, love, joy, harmony, well-being, abundance, all the things that we're chasing after outside of ourselves. You see what I'm saying? Let me know if that's resonating in the chat. So another key perspective, right, to have is the three bodies, right? And this is where you're understanding that your mental, your emotional, and your physical bodies are your tools as a divine being, right? Remember, you are not just a human being. You are a soul having this human experience, right? And if you're a soul having a human experience, right, what are the tools that help you create the life you want, right? Your mind, your emotions, your body, right? These are your tool sets, and utilizing the power of your focus helps you move into creating with these tools what you desire. And another key perspective here is to understand that what you desire equals done. Desire equals done. This is also sort of the law of correspondence, the law of polarity. These are also, just the divine laws, right? If you haven't studied this yet, definitely check out the Kabbalion that book on Kabbalion, and as well as Ancient Future by Wayne Chandler, but just get into understanding the divine laws of the universe, right? When you understand this, that as within, so without, as above, so below. When you understand that what reality that you're seeing that's playing out in your life is a reflection of what you're internally experiencing on a day-to-day basis, right? That inherent with every problem is the solution. So that, discord in the relationship, right? That discord in the relationship, right? That not enough money in the bank account, or that boss treating you like crap, or, that, ailment in your body, right? When you start to recognize that within your true self is the solution, is the solution, as I like to say it, your soul has the solution to your life, right? Then you move into letting go of having to figure it out mentally all the time. You can actually let divine inspiration move you into your true self. So let's talk about some actual practical tools that you can move into. One of my favorite ones is just presencing yourself. And this can be done in several different ways. Can't remember if I did a video on this channel about that yet. I feel like I did, but if I can, I'll remember to link it below. But presencing yourself means utilizing the power of your attention and focus to actually move yourself in and anchor it into this present moment, right? When you're presencing yourself, you can utilize the power of affirmations to move you into a state of peace. You can utilize the power of your focus and attention to focus in on your body. You can do body scan meditation or just feeling the energy. Right now, one of my favorite ways is just anchor and feel the energy of my body, feeling the life force of my body. That's my quickest way, but everybody has a different way, so you got to figure out what works best for you. One of my favorite ways of presencing is try it with me now. Close your eyes if you feel so inclined, and just breathe and see if you can feel this sensation that is animating your body. Immediately I feel it because I practice this all the time, but right now I'm feeling literally like my body is like buzzing, right? Can you feel the energy that's in your hand? Start with your hands. Can you feel the source that there's just sort of like this tingling sensation that's animating your hands, right? And then you can actually scan your body and utilize this as a presencing meditation, presencing moment. So go ahead and you can start from the top of your head and go to the bottom of your feet. Can you feel the energy behind your eyes? Can you feel the energy behind your ears? Can you feel your earlobes, right? Can you feel your nose? And what we're doing in this moment is we're practicing bringing our attention and our awareness and our focus into our bodies, right? Can you feel the energy behind your lips? I always like doing that because it feels very funny to feel your lips buzz, but try it now with me. Can you feel the energy behind your lips? Can you feel the energy in your chest? And then we'll just stop on the arms. Can you feel the energy of your arms? So right now for me, my entire body is like, if it's not that for you, that's totally fine. It just means that you need to practice more tuning into your true self, practice more presencing yourself, anchoring yourself in this present moment. It might mean that your mind is very active and that your mind does not want to play nice, or it does not want you focusing your attention. And so it just takes a little bit of cultivation and time and energy to start quieting the mind and then allowing your attention to move from the mind into the physical apparatus, your body, right? So that's one thing. Another thing that I think I talk about it in my Divine Peace course that I'm going to be releasing soon, but Divine Peace, I think I talk about it. Another way is this sort of, can you sense your environment? Can you place your attention, feel the energy of, like for me, the computer screen in front of me? Can I sense the energy? Can I listen, tune into the sensation of my hearing? What do I hear? What do I smell? What do I taste? What do I feel? What does the seat beneath me feel like, right? And it's sort of like using your environment as an anchor for you presencing in. So there's several different ways, but that's one of the ways, key spiritual practice of helping you tune in, right? Another way, there's so many different ways, but another way is to reprogram yourself. Repetition of your desired reality. So anchoring your truth into all aspects of your true self, your body, and your emotions. And one of the ways that you can reprogram yourself is start to tell and rehearse a new story. Remember, you are the story maker of your life, the magician, the witch, the creator, the warlock, whatever you want to call it, right? So telling a new story means that you're no longer going to tell that story of your lack, limitation, illness, discord in your life, discord in your family, discord in your relationships, discord at work. You're no longer going to tell the story of what you don't want anymore. That story, that chapter of your life, and it's all up to you. That chapter of your life is now over. Chapter 5 is done. Okay, we done with chapter 6, chapter 7. Chapter 7, ooh, that was a little rough. But you know what? Chapter 8 is about to be bomb, okay? And that's what you're going to do. You're going to start telling yourself a new story. One of the ways that you can do that is to grab your handy dandy journal and start writing out your new story every day. And it doesn't have to be long. It can be a paragraph, but every day you can start with the simple practice of journaling out your new story. Start telling yourself a different story of how your life is going to play out. If you've rehearsed so much of the lack, limitation, bad relationships, unhealthy body, whatever it is that you're experiencing that you want to find relief from, right? That you want to move into the solution of, start moving into the solution now. Remember, the solution is here now. You don't need to know the how. This is another key perspective to understand, is that you don't need to know the how. Like I said, your mind is literally a ballpoint pen, right? And your soul, infinite intelligence, this that you are, is literally is literally the universe, right? So when you relinquish your need to know, clarity, having clarity is beautiful when it's from your divine infinite self. When that flash of inspiration hits and it's like, do this, then it's a beautiful thing. But when you're trying to come up with the how, you're literally limiting the infinite possibilities that are available to you in this present moment, right? So you don't need to know the how. All you got to do is move energetically. Start telling that new story. What would I be doing if I healed? I have a lot of ladies who reach out to me in regards to, fibroids and tumors and, ovarian stuff and their womb health issues, because a lot of women in general are struggling with that. What would it be like if you healed your womb, right? For me, when I had that, 6-month pregnancy looking belly and I wasn't pregnant, I started imagining myself, wearing my bathing suit. Now, mind you, I'm kind of shameless, so I would wear my bathing suit regardless. But I'm like, I'm going to enjoy my body and all of its beauty. And eventually, my body shifted to the version of it that I wanted it to be. Start imagining, what would I be doing if I'm free? What would I be doing if I got that raise, or if I got that new house, or, I met the partner of my dreams? Start telling that story. Move into that energetic frequency. When you shift vibrationally, when I'm talking vibrationally, I mean emotionally, physically, mentally. You're using those 3 bodies, right? Using those 3 bodies to help you move into your desire. Because your desire equals done. The moment you have a desire, you guys, that means it's already done. That means it's done, right? It's already done. It's already done, right? It's already done, right? And so when you move into that inner knowing, then you can allow your higher self, your soul, to guide you. And you don't necessarily need to have a plan, right? Unless your soul is like, look, look, Rachel, look, whatever your name is, right? I need you to write down this, and this is what's going to happen. Most of the time, our souls is not really moving that hardcore. Like, we're too attached to the outcome. We're too attached to how we think things should be, right? We are too attached to, the how, so much that we're blocking the infinite other hows and potentials that our souls have in store for us, right? So you got to start recognizing that you don't need to know the how. Leave the how up to your higher self. Your how is Literally give the how over to your higher self. Give the how over to your soul. Give the how in which things will manifest. Because when you're resting in your true self, you don't really care about the how, because you're already moving from wholeness, you guys. Like, think about it. If you're already whole, right? Let's say you already have your desire, right? It's already been done, passed, you got a badge in it, it's done. Put it in another tool that you can utilize is to start to think of your desire as it's already done, it's already happened, right? Put it in the past tense, right? This is another reprogramming subconscious mind trick, hack, right? When you say, oh, and December of 2023, like I met the man of my dreams, or I finally signed the papers to my deed on my new house. I moved in with my family. We loved it. It was wonderful, and it was the best thing that ever. Like, move into that energy vibrationally first, and then let the universe sort itself out. But you have to start practicing that new story, right? So that's a spiritual practice to do. Another one is to start self-deifying yourself, right? Without the ego. What do I mean by that? When I'm talking about self-deifying yourself, I'm not talking about puffing yourself up and being like, I'm better than everyone on the planet. That's not what I'm talking about. Self-deification just means that you're moving into the state of your divinity from a place of quiet confidence, from a place of internal power and internal knowledge that everything that you want is already here. And ways that you can do that is, there's so many different rituals that you can do. Ways that you can do that is utilizing candle magic or sigil magic, writing, creating a symbol. Like, one of my friends is really good at that. They would like create symbols and then give it a meaning, and then like meditate on the symbol, because now you're replacing that meaning and giving your subconscious a new job to say, this is what this symbol means, right? Another thing that you can do is sort of creating a vision board of the version of yourself that you see yourself as, right? So if you see yourself as, let's say you have womb issues, or you're suffering from, enlarged body, or you're, not having the job you want, or not having the relationship you want, put an image of yourself and as a version of yourself that you see yourself as, right? Another thing that you can do to self-deify yourself is just really start to treat yourself at a higher state of respect. Just when you think of a god or a goddess, right? And many of us, grew up in the church, grew up in, the Christian church. And one of the things that they do in the Christian church is that they worship God. They sing praises to God, praises to Jesus, praises to whatever, Allah, Buddha, whatever, As a divine being, right? If you're fractal, made manifest in human form, what would it be like if you worshipped yourself, right? Not in an egoic sense, like you're better than everybody, but if you literally put yourself up on a metaphorical pedestal as a divine being that you truly are, right? If you gave yourself, tied to yourself, and you treated yourself out to a night on the town, or you gave yourself the time to whatever it is that a lot of times most of the clients and the people that I speak to, they're very giving to other people, but they're not self-deifying themselves. They're not putting themselves as a divine being, as a divine creator of your life. A lot of times, many of us are playing the B characters, the sidekicks in our own life. And it's like, you can't be a sidekick in your own life. Like, who's the main character? So really, self-deifying is really you stepping into the role of the main character, right? In your own life, right? How does that look? It can look like a number of different things for different people, depending on what it is, whatever challenge it is that you have, right? So self-deifying can look like that. So, but it's basically where you're starting to worship yourself as the God and the goddess that you already are, right? And moving into that energy from a place of unapologetic power, right? And it's not saying that everybody else is not a god and goddess. No, you recognize their divinity as well, but you're operating in your divinity because there's no apology about it, because you don't have to hide or cower or do any of that stuff, because there's nothing wrong with you and your divinity, right? So one of the things that I wanted to share is, this is from my divine team. You did not come here to work hard, struggle, or strain for the entirety of your journey. You may have done a little dabbling in those frequencies and vibrational playgrounds, but you are now ready to embark upon a new journey of embodying all that you truly are in your physical form while you traverse through this human journey, right? And when you recognize that you're not here to struggle, you ain't here to strain, and if you're listening to this, then some part of you is ready to embark upon this new journey and ready to embody all that you truly are in your non-physical true self while in your human form. That's the whole purpose of coming to this earth school. You know, all these souls vying to be here. Like, we here. We did it. Like, out of the millions of sperm that could have been born, right? No, you made it through, right? You made it through your mother and your father, right? Like, your soul came and decided to appear on this planet, right? Out of the millions of different possibilities that happen, you are here. That's a divine miracle in that of itself, right? So if you could recognize how divine and truly powerful you truly are, then you can move into your divinity embodiment and allow this ease, abundance, and well-being to be your modus operandi, right? And so the next thing I wanted to kind of share with you is my divine mastermind, right? And this is a free membership that I'm opening to you guys, and I'll put the link in the description box below if you want to check it out. But it's a free membership where we're going to start diving into all this stuff more in depth. I'll put the link in the description box. Okay. We're going to start diving this. If you have any questions, go ahead and post them in the chat below. So I can answer them if you have any questions. But the Divine Mastermind is a free membership. It's a place where it's a pay what you can, pay what you want, whatever, free, is open to the public. But it's a membership where you come and shed old paradigms that no longer serve you so you can do deep inner work and start living, right, your true self, living from your true self, right? Embodying the divine being that you truly are, so that every day you start feeling more ease rather than like life is really fucking hard or overwhelming, right? So that's what the I Am Divine. This is a resurgence of something that I launched way back, but my soul, my divine team has been like, okay, ready? Are you ready to move back into this? So if it resonates, definitely check out the link in the description box. So what is the Divine Mind and I Am Divine Mastermind? It's a membership that it combines both living as a divine being while also embracing your human journey. A lot of times in the spiritual community, we sort of negate one or the other. And I'm all about embracing the totality of who you truly are. I don't believe that you need to negate your humanity or negate your human experience or even ignore your human experience or even traumas or past conditioning that you've journeyed to move into freedom. That's a part. Those are all gateways into freedom. Your higher self doesn't negate any pathway that you take. It's all like, that's how powerful we truly are. We're so creative that our souls can utilize whatever situation that we find ourselves in and move us into the solution, right? So much of coaching programs and membership focus life on purely from a human perspective and disregards your spiritual self. Or purely focus on the spiritual with no tangible ways to integrate it into your day-to-day life, right? And so this membership is all about approaching your life from a spiritual vibrational standpoint first and foremost, and then utilizing strategies and tactics and spiritual practices to help you shift to your desired state of being and reality vibrationally first, right? Because it is law, things will naturally start to be reflected in your outer world, aka your divine life, right? So what this looks like on a practical level are monthly divine messages from myself or my divine team, whatever flows or feels good. And the first one will be on this coming Friday, June 7th. And then it'll also include monthly group coaching calls. So it will basically just be, just similar to this, where you have, coaching, but in a group setting where you can ask your questions. We can talk about things in a sacred place. And then there's also a 24-hour access to a private Facebook group. And then as we build up a catalog of stuff, and I still have some old stuff from when I ran this before, you'll have access to our vaulted library of coaching journeys and channelings for you to journey through, right? And you'll also receive bonus things like workbook templates, worksheets, and other trainings to help you integrate the small but profound shifts in your life and or business, right? In health, right? So that is what that is. If that's something that you're looking to join, then our first monthly message will be on this June 7th. Feel free to sign up at divineearthschool.com/I am divine. Right, and the link is in the description box below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And we can end it here. See if you have any questions. I'll give you guys a second to type if you do have any questions. Okie dokie. Oh, and the reason why I wanted to, the reason why you would sign up, for those of you who want to take advantage of the fact that it's pay what you can, and the minimum that you need to purchase, I guess, on this is $0. So if you find that you are in a financial pinch and you don't have it in your budget to, join at a specific price or whatever, that's perfectly fine. I just really want to move and offer this to start elevating and helping us as a community move into a place of freedom, right? Because many of us are just so bombarded and so focused in on what we don't want, focused in on all this external stuff that's really preventing us from living as the divine beings we truly are. We're really at a beautiful place in the time that we live in, right? Besides all the, the slavery and the, trials and all the stuff that happened in our generations before, right? If you join me live, feel free to post any questions that you had in regards to what I shared below, but in the chat. But we're so bombarded with all that stuff, but that stuff used to be in the past. That we live in this time where we have access to more freedom and access to more tools than ever before, right? As a human species, where, yes, there's discrimination. Yes, there's all this other stuff that's going on the planet. But for a lot of us in the Western society, we have access to freedom, access to tools, access to things at our disposal that allows us to live a more divine, abundant life, right? That allows us to actually be more self-actualized in our human journey. And that's what the I Am Divine Mastermind is really all about. It's really all about helping you move from this place of your divinity, move from a place of knowing that you're a divine being and that you can actually start living your divinity versus thinking, oh, every Sunday or every blue moon when you remember, oh yeah, I am a soul having this. Like most of us are walking around in our lives that we're mostly human and we're at effect and we're victims. And this membership is designed to help you start moving from your divine true self, moving as a divine. What does it look like to actually be embodied? What does it look like to feel, empowered on a day-to-day basis? What does it look now? Does this mean that you will never ever experience challenging events? No, that's not what this means. It just means that, especially here on Earth School, you're here to learn some lessons, grow, and expand, and that's a part of it. But this is designed to give you a tool set to make you more resilient, to help you become more resilient, to help you operate from the divine true self that you truly are, for you to start stepping into your divine power, your divine gifts, to start acting that out and living that out from a true self, from a true place, an authentic place, right? So I see we don't have any questions. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Okey-dokey. Cool. So if you have no more questions, I will close this out. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for joining me for Soul Nugget Sunday. As always, flow with what feels good and let go of what doesn't, because you are divine. You are a divine being, and your soul knows exactly what you've come to explore and experience while on this planet. So remember, what you conceive is what you'll receive. What you expect is what you will get. And however you feel is what will become real for you. So vibrate higher, and I will chat with you guys next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if it changes, I will let you guys know, probably in the community tab. But other than that, I will see you guys next Sunday. Have a great rest of your week, and welcome to Joyful June. Remember, the focus of this month, I want to invite you, is to focus in on how you can allow your true joyful, true essence to be more permeated in your human experience, right? If joy is your true state of being, one of the aspects of your true state of being, how can you allow joy to start permeating the rest of your life, right? Because this is actually your natural state of being: joy, peace, love, well-being. How can you allow that to be more? Let that be your contemplation for the month of June, and I look forward to continuing to help and serve you guys moving forward. Peace, love, and light.